Hi, this is Stephen Carter with the Cultural Center of Charlotte County. I'm the Executive Director, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to YouTube this morning with us. And I've got William H. Wakeman III, Mr. Bill Wakeman, with me this morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Bill. We're going to chat a little bit about different things you can do in financial planning. We've had some other segments and gotten some really good information. And I know when you're talking about folks and when they're doing their financial planning and you've worked all your lives and you've tried to, or through your, say halfway through your life, and you've maintained and gotten to a certain point where you've accumulated some wealth and you're secure, but you want to keep that, right? So I think it's very important that you want to make sure that if any cracks in the dike came up, you can plug those, and like when you're thinking about the Dutch way and plugging the dike up and plug those holes up. So when you're running into things like that with some folks out there, can you give me a couple examples of what we'd be talking about, what you need to look for, what you might want to make sure you're taken care of for?
Yeah, absolutely. As a financial planner, the first thing that you do is to accumulate the information on an individual. You build a financial profile, develop all the assets and liabilities. You review all of the existing insurance contracts and whatnot, build a complete financial profile on that individual. As a financial planner, the first thing that I want to do is look at the individual's situation and do what I call plugging the holes. Plugging the holes, people don't understand how easy it is for them to lose all that they've built so hard. People have inherited wealth. People have started with nothing and built their wealth over a long period of time after hard work, being smart. However it is that they came into being wealthy, they never really pay attention a lot of the time to the threats that exist that could deplete them of that wealth very quickly. And these are common items. These are not uncommon. The lack of health insurance. I find it unbelievable how many times that I interview a wealthy client that may have $10 million and they have no health insurance. And if they have no health insurance, they're one accident or sickness away from losing their $10 million potentially. That's an example. Uncovered items for liability is very, very common. People just don't pay attention to the details many times. For example, a client that I have, I was talking to one time, and he has a golf cart that he uses on his island home, and that golf cart he uses, all over the place. Many times, maybe after a couple of drinks or whatever, and he was talking about running into a tree the night before, almost hit somebody, and doctor so-and-so, and then it's like, I'm okay, do you have liability insurance on this golf cart? And the answer was no. So the answer is no. He hits a doctor, the doctor's a surgeon, the doctor makes $1 million a year, he's going to sue you, and it's going to be an open and shut case, and there went your $10 million. So that's what I call holes. It's real simple for somebody like me who understands all these relationships, and I'm going to review that and make sure that we plug those holes as soon as possible.
Now, do you find when we're talking about that, is it sometimes that the people of your client may assume they have, say the golf cart, they assume they have coverage for that perhaps, or they just haven't even bothered to think about it?
Just overlooked. And for example, on one client that I'm thinking about, like I said, is wealthy, worked very, very hard to accumulate that wealth, started from nothing, and built up a significant amount of assets. And that person is young, and that person just doesn't think that they need health insurance, and that's just not good thinking. So
I think we were all there, right? When
yeah,
the younger you are, you think you're going to live forever and nothing will ever happen to you.
But most of the time, it's just overlooking. It's not intentional a lot of the time. It's just not thinking about a particular item, like that golf cart being uninsured. It just didn't think about adding that to the policy. So those are the kind of things that I call plugging holes. There's all different kinds of potential threats. Long-term care is a significant threat for people, not just elderly people, but middle-aged people. So all these kinds of things, I basically have a checklist in my mind and on paper, and I go through that checklist and make sure that we plug those holes right up front in the very beginning as soon as possible before we start trying to improve their future.
Okay, that's some very good information. With me today has been William H. Wakeman III, who is the benefactor of our Cultural Center Theater. It's the William H. Wakeman III Cultural Center Theater. I'm Stephen Carter, the Executive Director. I want to thank you for listening to this segment of YouTube, and catch us on the next one. There'll be another one posted real soon.